Okay. We're trying to record in a way that makes it the highest quality, so I want to make sure that I do it in the best way possible. So we're recording. Welcome to Mondays with Jeremy. We're talking about the real estate roller coaster, and we've all felt it before. Some of us have overcome it and we've created systems or ways, or we've just accepted what is the reality. But many of us, most of us, we're just trying to get that next high of the excitement of going down the hill, and we're trying to avoid the slowdown. That's sort of how our business works. So we're going to try and get past that a little bit to create a real business. There we go. So, what's the best feeling in the world? The best feeling in the world, the feeling we're all looking for, is that deal you make with a client. When the client says, "Oh my God, you did it," you feel like all your problems are solved, everything works out, you're happy because the deal is done. What an amazing feeling that is. And we're all sort of chasing that feeling on a day to day basis. We're all looking for the next time we can replicate that amazing feeling we're going to have. The difficulty is you have that feeling and then you kind of come down from it. You come down from that drug. So, real estate as a drug is really the idea that we're running around chasing, looking for a fix, looking for that next deal, that next high. And then after the deal is done, you come home and you are like, I need a break, I need a second. And you kind of play down and then you want to feel great again. You need a dopamine rush or an addiction rush or whatever it is that the drug people would tell you you need, because real estate is really a drug. And it's no way to run a business. Let me tell you this. It's sort of a way to get through and to make some deals. And a lot of times I would say in the business that I will make a deal when I believe that one deal will solve all my problems. Do you guys ever feel this? Sometimes you show up at the office and you have to get a mailer out and you have to call back some people and you have to fulfill some conditions. And even if you have no focus on actually taking a client you have or would work with you and converting them to a deal, you miss a whole day of trying to do that. But sometimes you show up at the office and you're like, holy cow, I've got nothing going on. I need to make a deal. And if I make a deal, I'll pay for the thing and I'll get that. And then one deal in your mind will solve all your problems. And when one deal will solve all your problems, you get hyper focused. You reach out to a client, you tell them we have to go see this house, you tell them we have to get the house on the market, you do whatever it takes to make that deal. And when one deal will solve all your problems, when you truly believe, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. When you truly believe that one deal will solve all your problems, all of a sudden, you are an expert master shooter at getting a deal. And then we end up with this drug like reaction because we're waiting till we need another fix. And we get off it and we distract ourselves and we do all these other things. But then when one deal will solve all our problems, we make a deal. That's how it works without a plan. So here's what happens. We say, okay, I need to make a deal. And we work so hard. We're like, who am I going to call? Who am I going to call? And you start going through your database or you start going through your past leads or wherever you go through or you door knock or whatever it is, and you get an appointment. And then you get really excited and you get a little bit of momentum. You get an appointment, they sign the listing. After they sign the listing, you get pinned. Oh, you got a showing, right? And the high is building up. You get a showing, you have an offer, amazing, and you're getting more and more excited. You're getting one step closer and one step closer to a deal. Oh, you're in the negotiation. Now the negotiation is a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of excitement. Now we're into the high of it. Then we have a conditional deal. Okay, I hope it firms up. Oh God, you go home, you're excited, but you're uncertain and you don't want to say congratulations and you don't want to feel good, but you got something going on and it's really good. And then you get a firm deal. Holy cow, I got a firm deal. This is amazing. I got amazing. And now I got paid. Oh my God, I got so much money. All of a sudden I was broke and now I have so much money in my bank account. This is amazing. I need a vacation. Am I the only one that ever went through this, guys? Like, honestly, right? This is what we're doing, and we think we have a business, and we think we're doing something, but we're just chasing that moment of bliss on vacation, or the high of the deal or the excitement. Yeah, chaos to calm, exactly. And this rush to chaos prevents us. And then we sit on the beach and we read a real estate book or something like that. We pull out something or we go back to a plan we had. We look through our phone from the notes from that seminar we went to. I was like, okay, when I get back to Toronto and I get organized, I've got some time, I have some clear. This time I'm really gonna do it. This time I'm gonna get my flyers together. This time I'm gonna door knock every week. This time I'm gonna do the right things in the right order and it's gonna work for me. And then a few days later, you realize you haven't followed up with that buyer you need, and you're starting to worry about the money because you spent it all on your vacation. And all of a sudden, the real estate roller coaster begins again. And you never quite get out of this loop that we keep going on. And so, by the way, the same thing can happen if you're listening to this and say, well, that was true for me for the first couple of years, but I got out of this because I'm great at systems and everything. You can have the same roller coaster. You could just be doing 12 deals a month and then go down to six. You could just have some more systems in place, but you feel like it's happening for you, or maybe your cycle gets drawn out. The success of this is when you take your cycle from one deal at a time to maybe one season at a time, maybe a 6 month at a time, and then you go through this. So many of us are still going through this even at higher levels in the business. If you've been in the business 20 years, you're making $500,000 a year, you're still going through this in the same way that someone who's doing 4 or 5 deals a year trying to get to 10 deals a year is going through this. Maybe you're just a little bit more sophisticated, you have a little bit more underlying systems in place, you have a few more clients that are likely to call you and refer you. You maybe have a couple client events. You maybe have a regular monthly letter that goes out. So it feeds that a little bit. But a lot of times we're still on this path where we go up and down, and it's stressful. And so very few of us exit that to a point where we have some balance in our business. And kind of this is the whole commission sales game. This is what they want to hook us on. The drug dealers want to hook us on this system like this. And in a way it's good because we would never do the hard work if it wasn't for these big commissions we're working to earn. And so it's great because it brings out the best in us. But at the same time, it can be exhausting, it can be difficult, it can lead to burnout, it can lead to lots of questions. And so when you're questioning yourself, you're asking questions about if this business is right for me, if I'm uniquely suited for this. And we go through periods in our career where we start to ask all these questions and we start to think. And that's why real estate agents are big clients of transcendental meditation, and we do a lot of yoga, and we're all trying to relieve the stress and the suffering, eliminate the suffering that we go through as real estate agents. So number one lesson here, guys, is we're all sort of going through the same thing at some level or another. Again, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the couple agents I've ever spoken to, but it's probably everyone are going through the same thing. And it might be you right now, and you might be on a path right now where you have a couple deals done recently and closings coming and a couple clients you're working with and a couple listings out there, and you're feeling like this is not happening to you. And you're saying, well, oh, that was me in February, but now I've figured it all out. It's coming again. And you'll question things like, am I cut out for this? Is this really, am I doing something good here, or am I just wasting my life away trying to chase a deal or chase money? Maybe I could do something more valuable. Can I use my talents differently? Would it be easier if I had a team? Use my talents differently, easier if I had a team. I spoke to a group of real estate agents that are forming, like they want to form their brokerage and they want to do all these things. And what I came up with at the end of their conversation with them, and I don't think I got my point across to them, but I want to get it across to you guys, is they're all just trying to get off this roller coaster. And the reality is they want to get paid the big commissions. They want to make the big money, but they think they're going to outsmart the system. My favorite bodybuilder, Ronnie Coleman, Says everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one wants to lift this heavy weight. Everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. Wouldn't it be great to have these giant muscles and walk around like Superman? But nobody wants to lift the heavy weights. So everybody wants to be a real estate superstar, but nobody wants to go out and door knock. Nobody wants to. I remember my dad telling me a story, and I didn't understand it till years later about being pissed off because at the time there were no sign companies. So he would go out, he'd had a sledgehammer in the trunk, and he would go and hammer the sign in. And he did so well, and he was doing so great, and he's making real money. And he's like, why do I have to hammer my signs in? And he's like annoyed with it. And someone came up to him, one of the neighbors came up to him, and they said, hey, what are you listing the house for? And they were going to sell too. And he had a realization that if you're out there doing the work, you can get paid. But if you're finding a way to avoid the work, if you think you're too big for it, if you think you've figured it out, if you're trying to escape the roller coaster, you're missing out. So let's embrace it, but let's try and smooth the curves a little bit so that it's more tolerable, so that you can be more consistent with your business, and so you can execute a plan. Does that make sense, everyone? Oh, I don't know why I added a picture of the roller coaster. I was probably supposed to talk about that there. Oh, this was supposed to be part of the question. And then you get this, you're on the roller coaster. This was what I was supposed to say. You're on the roller coaster, and then you get a text message as you're coming to the end of the roller coaster, and you're feeling all sick and everything. And the person says, oh, come over. I might want to sell my house. And you get back on the roller coaster before you even think about the other parts of your business. Anyways, I went in a little bit different direction. I think it still worked out okay. So let's get to 5 ways to smooth the roller coaster. All we want to do is smooth the roller coaster. We want to embrace the roller coaster. Guys, do you want to go get a job? Believe me, I kind of got a job. It's not as much fun. It's a lot more work. I got to be more consistent, all these things. And it doesn't have the fun of selling. I'm just going to be honest with you. But 5 ways to smooth the roller coaster. Here's how you can do it. Number one, have a plan and celebrate activities. When was the last time you came home and told your spouse, I had a great week this week. I door knocked every day this week. On a week you didn't make a deal. Let's go out to dinner. I door knocked 1,000 houses this week. I don't know, 1,000 sounds like a lot. That would be too many. 200 a day. No, I door knocked, let's say you could cold call 1,000 people if you really tried in a week, but I door knocked 100 people. I spoke to 100 people at the door this week. I had a great week. I have one appointment booked from it, but nothing else has come from it. But I know I'm on the right track. Let's go out, celebrate, and have dinner. Let's go out and celebrate and go for a coffee and sit together, maybe. Let's go out and just go for a nice walk. I feel great about what I did. Have a plan and celebrate your activities. Start to trick your brain into understanding that the activities are what are going to lead to the deals. So, my question to you is, do you have a plan? And this week, you can ask if you did it last week, but this week, do you know what you're going to do that are income producing activities? And are you going to be excited about it and brag about it Friday night or Saturday when your week is done? Number two, prospect at the top of the hill. My business became turbocharged when I had an offer to present that night, and I made cold calls with the offer sitting on my desk. And it became turbocharged because number one, that offer to me became a little bit less valuable. Or it was as valuable, but I had other stuff going on. If you book another appointment tomorrow and you have an offer tonight, you're less scared of losing that offer. You have an appointment tomorrow, you'll feel better about it. You know you have momentum to do something else. Everything's okay. It smooths out the roller coaster. But if you sit in your office all day, and I speak to you guys and you do it sometimes, so we're all guilty of it. We hold that piece of paper. We hold that. Oh, we don't have offers anymore. We don't hold them anymore, and we email them. But old analogy. But the point is, you're speaking to someone. You're going to hear back from your offer today, and you're just pacing around the office because you're in the middle of an offer. And so you do no work. And then if your whole life depends on what the seller says about the offer you brought, and you're just waiting to hear. So if you have an offer, if you showed a house on the weekend, you're writing up an offer today, write up the offer, send it to your clients to get it signed, and then start prospecting. In fact, call the same street and say, I'm working on a deal on your street, but I have lots of buyers. So I'm wondering if you're thinking of selling. Get the next listing on the street. Maybe if this one doesn't work out, they'll buy that one. Maybe you'll have the next one. And the other part about it is the confidence with which you will speak when you're prospecting with an offer is another level of confidence. It's even better than when you made a sale the day before. When you made a sale the day before, it's like that happened and I'm trying to get another one. Here, it's like, I don't even need this, but I'm going to find my next opportunity and I can feel relaxed and good. And the prospects will resonate with that confidence that you have that you're putting in an offer. So, your key to prospecting or your reminder to prospect is an offer. If you're working on an offer, prospect at the same time. Prospect at the top of the roller coaster hill. Don't wait till you're at the bottom and things are going crazy. Prospect with an offer in hand. Number 3, practice gratitude and exercise daily. Don't just do it when things are great. Don't just do it when you're down in the dumps. When you're even keel, when you've got a medium amount of work to do, find a way to exercise and practice gratitude daily. Practice gratitude. It can be 1 minute. It can be writing down on a piece of paper. Does door knocking count as exercise? Yeah, but you got to get to a lot of doors and you got to go pretty quickly and you can't spend too long waiting. So it counts as a little bit of exercise. But if you get up and you exercise, if you go for a run, it can solve a lot of your emotional problems. It can solve a lot of that uncertainty, that little bit of that positive drug instead of the negative drug of the real estate roller coaster will help you out. It'll balance you out. So I would say get some intense exercise. But if you go door knocking and you get home and you're a little tired and wiped out, no problem. Do 50 squats, do 20 sit-ups, do 10 push-ups, and then it counts. And honestly, nothing. I showed you guys at the beginning of the year the gratitude journal, something simple like that. That's quick. That takes 3 or 4 minutes today. If you want to be oversimplified, write a piece of paper, put a piece of paper on your mirror that says, "What am I grateful for today?" And in the morning when you brush your teeth, find one thing you're grateful for. At night while you're brushing your teeth, find one thing you're grateful for. 5,000 steps door knocking, Carrie. That's great. You're halfway there. Number 4, check in with your manager. You have to know how you're doing. And I taught my son this lesson yesterday. He was at an arcade, and on arcades now, instead of giving you tickets, they put points on a card. And at the end, you go to the thing and you get prizes. And my son went up and he thought he had about 1,400 points, and he went up and he had 900 points, and he couldn't buy the thing he wanted to get, and he couldn't believe it. And he thought he was doing much better than he was. And I told him, hey, gamblers remember when they win, they don't remember when they lose. And so he thought he played this game 15 times and he won. And we made them tell him every time he won and he lost, and he still couldn't believe it. And maybe they screwed him or whatever. Maybe it wasn't accurate, but we do it too. Sometimes when we're feeling good, we think we did more deals than we've done. Sometimes when we're feeling bad, we think we've done less deals. If you're not tracking it, if you're not checking in with your manager, we had a little trouble last month with our new goal setting program. Some of you received the text a couple months ago, but we are committed to doing this for this fall. So we'll have text messages to you with your goals on them. That'll be really helpful for you in your business. Pay attention to those. Check in with your manager every month. Ask them to just spend 5 or 10 minutes with you, have a coffee with you, talk about what your plan is. Make sure you feel good and you're on track with your plan. Your manager will be able to help you. And lastly, surround yourself with realtors you like and respect. This morning's call is a great way to start doing that. Friday's kickoff will be a great way to do that. They did a study on mice and addiction. and they gave mice all the cocaine they could want to have. And they isolated one group of mice and they put them alone in a cage. And those mice alone in their cage, 100% of the time got addicted to the cocaine. When they had a nice community of mice or whatever, a group or however they form, and they had a nice environment with good things and toys and different things they could do, and they put some cocaine there. They took a little bit of cocaine, the mice, and most of the time they just left it. None of them got addicted. So, if real estate is a drug that can be dangerous for you, but it's also something you need, if you surround yourself with a great environment, if you have a good environment around you, it will support you in a way that avoids the highs and lows, and you'll feel better more of the time. So make an effort to get together with people. Make an effort to be at your branch meetings. If you're uncertain what to do, if you just had a couple appointments and you want to go for a coffee, don't go to Starbucks. Don't go home and make a coffee. Go to the office. We will buy you a coffee on us. Have a free coffee at the office, and maybe you'll spend 5 minutes talking to someone that will share an idea, share something they're going through. It used to be that you would go to the office and spend the whole day working and then you'd go out somewhere else for social purposes. I really think the future of real estate is you work from home or you work from where you work or you do what you do, and then you go spend an hour socially in the office because it's a good place to find people to network with, have fun with, but maybe you go somewhere else to do your work. So, whatever you do, find a way to get back into the office for half an hour a day, an hour a day. Don't interrupt people too much if they're working, but we created these cafes in most of our offices. So go hang out there. You'll have a conversation. If you have some work to do, use one of the computers and you'll interact with some people and it will feel good for your business. Of course, make sure you are at the fall kickoff this Friday uh, from 11 to 2. Do not go for breakfast. It is 11 o'clock and it's lunch. We're going to do a lunch 11 to 12. We are going to have Alex and I are going to do a great session on what you need to be thinking about in your business. And then we have Barry Cohen and Faisal Susiwala on a panel. It's going to be really great. Two top agents, the aspiration of your career. They've been there, they've been through it, they've gone past the roller coaster to create long-term careers. Both been number one in Canada. Barry's been number one in the world. So, really great people to learn from. Do not miss that opportunity to, number one, hear from these great guys. Number two, interact with some great agents, meet people, be early, stay late, and it'll be a great interaction. So, let me conclude with this, and then we'll take a quick look at the market in 5 minutes, and we'll be done by 9:35. Number one, you are normal. Whatever you feel like, whatever thing it is, you are normal. Number two, you are in the right place. Even if it doesn't feel like it, you're in the right place. You're just maybe on a roller coaster that's a little bit scarier than you want it to be on. But this is the right ride for you. Three, this business can be tough. This business is tough. It's never been more competitive than right now. For the few deals that we have, with the enormous number of agents that we have, it is challenging, but you can do it. If you put your head down, if you do the work, if you follow those steps, if you have a plan, if you follow gratitude, if you get your body moving and you exercise, you get out and door knock, you do those things you need to do, you can do this. And there's great opportunity out there for those who are willing to do it. So, whatever doubt you have in your mind, whatever feeling you have in your mind, work it through in those 5 steps that I talked about. Let's take a quick look at the numbers. I'm just going to stop my share and do a different share. Okay, Market Watch came out last week. We are up 2.5% in terms of number of deals. We are down 5.2% on price. So, what do you tell your clients about the market? Very simply, price is a trailing indicator, volume is a leading indicator. So the price is a reflection of what's happened 6 months ago. It just takes time for the price to adjust. The number of deals are a reflection of what's coming. So if price is down, it means that things were not good a few months ago. We know they weren't. If deals are up, it's an indication that things are probably getting better. Now, 2.3%, about the same as last year. I looked at where we were last year compared to this year. Last year, we were down a few percent. We were expecting more sales than 2%, 0.5% more. Sam, I was going to say that. Don't worry. It's not as good. It's down from 2 years ago. So that's not good. So I'm looking at where we are in terms of, I go one step further. So what's going on? Where are we really? What's happening? Well, last year condos were down about 10% this year. Sorry, year over year. Last year from 2023 to 2024, condo sales were down 10% or so. They're down another 5%. Freehold sales were up last year and they're up another 5.9%. I think I have last year's market watch here. Let me just move you guys out of the way and pull it up. So last year detached sales were about even and condo sales were down 11%. This year, condo sales are detached sales are up 5.9%, particularly in the 416, up 10.5%. But condo sales are down another 5%, particularly in the 905, they're even worse. So it's sort of a tale of two cities. Detached are getting better. Semi and townhouse are just a bit up, but condo sales are down further. So that's pulling the total number of deals down. I think, Sam, if we saw 5.9% up across the board, we'd be quite happy with it. We would have not been surprised about that. So the condo sales were worse than expected and pulled us down a little bit. But particularly in the 416, detached sales up 10% is huge. Do I have the month over month numbers from July to August? Sales are down July to August. So the easiest way to look at this, oops, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I had it ready to go. Oh, there it is. Sorry, give me one sec. Let me make sure I get it right. So it's hard to see here, but this is the curve. This green one is the curve from this year. So it makes sense. Sales went up. They were really slow at the beginning of the year. They went up. May, June, July were better than we expected based on the beginning of the year. So that was pretty good. July was much better than we expected, or at least on track, and went down for August. So the slope downward was a little bit more than we were expecting on the downslope. Uh, 2022 and 2023. So by the way, so yes, it's we're down a little bit more month over month, but we would always expect almost every time, other than this COVID year, which was weird, we would expect sales to be down August over July. That's typical. Once in a while, it goes up or something happens. In 2022, they went up a little bit in August and then back down. 2023, they were downward, and fall didn't happen in 2023. As Sam pointed out last week, October and November were particularly great in 2024. Based on this number, I think we're probably not going to hit it. I was optimistic that we could get there. I don't think we're going to get there. I think in fall, we're going to be somewhere in between. Darshan meant price from July to August. Yeah, I don't love to look at price July to August, but we can. The reason is 1 month over 1 month is not that interesting, especially with a mix of homes and everything. It's kind of confusing, but if we pull it up, we can see that we can look at last month's and get July, and the average price was 1,051,051 compared to 1,113,000 last year. And this year it was 1,074,000 compared to 1,080,000. Oh, sorry, wrong month. Let me get it right. Yeah, here it is. 1,077,000, 1,082,000. So you can see always August's price is lower than July's price. Some of it is the home mix, some of it is the listings that are sitting on the market because no one lists a new home in August. There are fewer new listings. So there are a lot more relists and there are a lot more people that have to sell that end up selling. So August price is almost always lower. We can see this from this chart here, although it doesn't show as well price. But you can see it's almost always downward from June to August, and then it pops up in September. So that curve is pretty normal, in line with what it's been the last couple of years, in line with what it is most years. And when it's flatter, it's not as flat as it looks. It's just a lower number. But those are really great years of growth. So I would expect that August prices are lower, anyways. Maybe we can have this graph with only 2022 so we can see differently more clearly exactly that was exactly my point. Good point. Maybe we'll clean this up and we'll remove some 2013, 15. But it is great if you're presenting this to your clients from a historical perspective to say, look, guys, this is where we were in 2013. This is where we were in 2015. We've had a few years where we haven't had the normal growth that we've had. We're going to start to grow again. And so that's why I like keeping those older years. But maybe we could do a version once, maybe for the whole year, that eliminates some older years so we can see exactly what's happening. How long does price take to catch up to sales typically? I don't know if there is a typical. I don't know what the number would be. But I would say we're on probably a 6 month type of thing. So I would guess prices will be slow. I mean, the great news, if the stock market changes, the stock market changes. And if you didn't know the day before, you missed it. The good news is we're a slow moving ship. And on a slow moving ship, we can predict what's going to happen. So if sales volume's better, if more people are buying detached houses, 10% more in the 416, 5% more in the 905, if that's doing better than last year, and last year was pretty good, uh, we can say that probably we must be around a low point in terms of number of sales and prices. Uh, so it's a great time to get a deal. Does that mean that I would buy something right now to try and flip next year? No, I think that would be crazy. But if I was trying to move up in the market, if I was trying to get into the market, I wouldn't miss out on 2025. I think it's a great time to buy a house. I think spring of next year prices are going to be higher. I think we're finally getting some of the decrease in price we were waiting for, which took a couple of years to happen. And that's where I think we are. So, uh, you know, prices went down from 1990 to 1996. It took a long time. I don't think cycles are that long now. We're already kind of 3 years into this. Could we have another year where prices are down? Maybe. Do I think it's going to be 2 or 3 years? No, I don't think so. So your buyers should want to get a deal right now. Your sellers shouldn't be waiting because they think 3 months from now prices are going to be up 10%. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think they need to wait till spring to try and get a little bit more. It's time to sell if they need to sell, and it's time to buy if they're buyers for long term. What do you recommend for those in condos waiting to move up to a house? The gap may be getting bigger as we speak. So if you have a condo that's, let's say, worth $700,000 and you're trying to buy a house for $1.1 million dollars or $1.2 million, dollars, my guess is that house is going to start to go up and the condo is going to keep going down. So if you wait 6 months or a year from that move, I wouldn't be surprised if the gap gets significantly bigger. Even if prices are only up 3% and your condo's down 3%, that's going to end up feeling like a huge difference and they'll have a much lower down payment. So I assume prices of condos are still going to go down. And I'm believing that prices of detached are going to start to go up. So I have a feeling that person should do it quickly before they miss out on this amazing opportunity. So with that, it is 9:38. There are a tremendous amount of opportunities. I will check on the Dear Friend letter. If it's not out today, I'm sure it'll be out tomorrow or Wednesday. But I'll check on that and make sure it's ready, and then we'll send it out once we've got it. Please note, if you have use Apple Mail, then likely your announcements are going into a different folder than your regular primary account. There may be a way to shift it into primary, but don't miss out on your announcements. and search for things that we always send the next week at Realtron, the this week at Realtron. If you're looking for something, it's likely you can find it in your email or on Core. It's always there. So we'll have that dear friend letter out as soon as possible. Alex always writes it, so he'll make sure it's out promptly. All right, guys, lots of opportunity out there. I look forward to seeing all of you on Friday at the fall kickoff, 11 o'clock at Crystal Fountain. I can't wait to see you there. Thanks, everyone.